Continuing with the videos about emerging adulthood. First, let me acknowledge I've been having some technical problems. Hopefully it will not happen anymore, and this thing will keep recording and standing up. It's also a rainy day, folks, and so the lighting is not optimal. I've got it the best I can get it. All right, so previously we talked about various things with emerging adulthood, and remember for my classes, for my lifespan developmental psychology class, there's just one chapter on emerging adulthood. And I don't go through everything in the chapter, but one thing I always go through when we're talking about social and emotional development, and that's what I'm moving into here, we always talk about Erikson. So what did Erikson have to say about emerging adulthood? Erikson said that once you had developed your identity, now we've already acknowledged that not everybody's done that by the time they get into emerging adulthood, but once you developed your identity, you can work on finding a partner, finding a partner for his stage of intimacy versus isolation. So you find that committed partner. Typically, in Erikson's day, we were really focusing on finding a marriage partner. All right. Now, many people do not settle down into a committed relationship or get married in emerging adulthood. So, we're dealing with some historical cohort type differences. But Erikson's six psychosocial stage emphasized that humans are social creatures, and you want to form intimacy, a deeper connection with somebody, like a romantic connection, and that intimacy progresses from attraction to close connection to ongoing commitment. Now, and Erikson did not say like this had to be through marriage, but I think for a long time, people kind of assume, well, this is when you settle down, you meet the right person, you get married, you do your thing that you're supposed to do in culture, in the society. You get married, you have kids, and then you're a real adult. And one thing I talk about when I teach the psychology of adolescence and adulthood class is that a lot of people wonder, when am I going to feel like a real adult? When does that happen? Some of us never really feel entirely certain in that. But one thing we know, especially when we have modern contemporary samples, marriage and parenthood, those are two very common ways of establishing intimacy, but they are only two of several paths to intimacy. There are various ways that you can form a deep connection with someone else that do not necessarily involve marriage or parenthood. So now we are doing a better job of acknowledging the variety of ways that one can establish intimacy. Right? So that's kind of a basic explanation, but that's what I want my students in the lifespan developmental psychology course to know about Erikson's stage of intimacy versus isolation.